I am driving off the lot as we speak in my brand new 2019 Ford Raptor, baby! As you guys can see, we just went over a ledge and speed bumps and I didn't even feel it. It's Friday after my 30th birthday, and I just traded in the Focus RS. After dealing with the Focus RS, which was a great car, it had its problems. Thankfully mine didn't have, oh my god, these AC seats are so freaking nice. Holy. It's been, what, a minute since I drove off the lot and the seat's already cold. Incredible. And for this Texas heat, this is unreal. Unreal. So I'm gonna reset the trip. Full tank of gas. Has 69 miles on it. I drove it around a little bit. I actually picked it up with 66, which is a little high. Normally new cars that I get have less than 20. Not that it's a big deal, but they had to go get this at another dealership. Was about 50 miles away. So that's why there's some miles on it. But holy cow, is this a badass truck. Steering wheel feels great, paddle shifters, I mean, incredible. I've test driven one prior to this, and it was, dude, it was a little bit underwhelming. And the reason for that was it was on the lot since December. So it was one of the first 2019s that came out. And when I drove it, it had 20 miles on it, and it felt underwhelming. I guess maybe my expectation on this truck, on the performance of it, was a little high, which might have been a little unrealistic. But facts don't lie, right? Like, this car does 0 to 60, and I've read 5.1, 5.2. Either way, the RS from factory is 4.6, and mine is full bolt-ons and tuned and all that stuff. So I'm sure it got closer to 4 seconds. But yeah, I mean, I'm not. The break-in period, I've already read. I haven't read the owner's manual. The break-in period is about 1,000 miles. So I don't anticipate doing anything really above 4,000 RPM at all. Maybe like once or twice during the first 1,000 miles, but I don't really anticipate doing that at all. Change the gauge cluster. My view, towing information, trip, fuel economy, configure my view. I guess that's just what it is, right? Oh, there's like an off-road view. Damn, the seat is, it's great. I mean, this is incredible. The one thing, there's a couple things this truck has that I wouldn't have ordered from the manufacturer. One is the technology package. So this, I believe, it has a technology package, which I believe is the blind spot monitoring system, which I've never had before. I'm sure it's nice to have. Like, it's not a bad thing to have. Auto windshield wipers, which, again, I had an Audi S3 before and it had that. It's cool. I hear some window cleaner sets it off, so I need to take a look at that. Damn, there's a lot of traffic coming up this way. I mean, it's bumper to bumper on the other side. Make sure that this sees pretty well. So it has that package, which is like $1,500 more than what I wanted. Well, that I wanted, period. I didn't want to pay for that. It also has the Pano double pane moonroof, which looks absolutely incredible. I mean, this is so nice, so slick. It opens up. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and I know I'm gonna love it long term. The only reason why I was hesitant on getting it or getting a truck with it is that I've read on the forums that they tend to break, crack, rattle whatever the case is, which is really unfortunate. I hope it doesn't happen with me. Sometimes it does, right? But it's going to be under warranty at the end of the day. So worst case scenario, I'm going to have to take it into the dealership for them to replace it. It is what it is. Outside of that, 802A package, it's rides so smooth, and the RS was very stiff, right? As it should be. It's a performance car. But this car, I mean, I feel taller than every single truck out there. And I don't drive a truck. Like, I had a truck in high school. It was a TRD supercharged Tundra. Did a lot of stupid shit in it. But this just, I mean, this is incredible. It feels great. I really love the red on the steering wheel, so you always know where dead center is. The gauges, so it's the 802A. I was actually looking at an 801A, and for those out there watching this, thinking about buying a Raptor, I wanted the 801. I was like, dude, I'm not paying for the 802A. It has all this shit that I don't care for. It's a $4,000 or $5,000 delta, which I didn't want to do. But then I came to realize the 801A has a very small cluster gauge. It's like the same size as the Focus RS, which isn't a game breaker, but thought that was interesting. The one thing that was a hard no for me was it has no keyless entry and it has no push to start, which is, I mean, that is standard, I'm pretty sure, on a $15,000 Hyundai. For a $50,000, $60,000 truck, for that not to come standard with was pretty concerning. But hey, guess what? It works in their favor, because me, like probably everybody else, decided to pay the $4,000 delta to get shit that they don't actually care for, just to have those comfort, those creature comforts, if you will. But I didn't get the carbon fiber package. I mean, it's a truck. I don't give a shit about having carbon fiber on the truck. Oh, it does have, I can see it from here. I mean, I knew it. The hood stripes, the black hood stripes. It doesn't have the Raptor sticker on the back, which that I definitely didn't want. Even though it looks decent, because the truck is white. I got the Oxford white, and the black and white contrast looks absolutely incredible. I just didn't like that sticker, especially because it's like $1,500 or $2,000. Now, it does have the two front stripes on the hood, which I don't mind as much. It's less than $1,000, which I'm sure you can probably get it for $100. But it does make the truck look way more aggressive on the front. When you're looking at it through the front, it just looks so mean. It's pretty awesome. So I got that. That's another feature that came with it. What I can do in another video, when I go a little more in depth of what I got, how I got it, all of that stuff. So I've been looking at a Raptor. It's June 14th today. I've been looking at a Raptor, not seriously, but looking at a Raptor as my next vehicle since last year, the 2018s. I started seriously looking at it January, February-ish. But they were all, I'm in Dallas, Texas, they were all still MSRP minimum and above. Like, no questions asked. I wouldn't even bother looking at it. Since the 2019's been out, it's the third year of the Gen 2s, so market saturation's there a little bit. There's still, I know, a ton of dealers that are asking for over MSRP. I went to 4 or 5 dealers, and the best price that I got was $1,000 off MSRP. Even the dealership that I bought my RS from wouldn't budge off MSRP. They wouldn't. They said, I'm sorry, that's what it is. Which I don't mind so much, because it holds the values on these trucks. Like, people are buying these things at MSRP and above MSRP, so that's fine. The dealership that I just bought this truck from was $1,000 over invoice, so it was about $4,000 over sticker. They also gave me about $1,000 more on the RS than any other dealership. Even they gave me $1,500 more than the dealership I bought the RS from, which I've done absolutely everything at, all oil changes, head gasket, everything. They gave me $1,500 more than them. So really, it was an incredible deal. The sales guy that I worked with, you know, at one point they had the red and the black and they had like the blues and the grays, and I didn't want those. I wanted the white one, and they were fully loaded, just like this one is, almost fully loaded. I was like, man, I can't do it. Like I don't want a secondary color for a truck of this cost. B, I don't want to pay the extra $4,000 or $5,000 for features that I don't want. Maybe I just order from the manufacturer, which is 8 to 10 week process. I've never done it before. It sounded pretty cool. We agreed on $1,500 or $1,000 off MSRP if I ordered from a dealer. And then he hit me up like a week later, and he's like, hey man, one of our sister dealerships actually has a white one. It's fully loaded, but here's what's on it. And I just talked through some of the things that I didn't care for, and he's like, all right, well, it's brand new. This truck was made in May. It's June. So I get why dealerships are marking under MSRP for trucks that have been on the lot. I get that. This has been on the lot, what, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks? And he gave me the same $1,000 over invoice that he did on the other ones for this one. How am I going to say no to that? Like, he went above and beyond my ask. He even gave me more on the RS. I mean, I'm ecstatic. It's one of those feelings. So I'm a big hockey guy, and the Stanley Cup was just won. St. Louis, go Blues, baby! And they interview a lot of these guys, and they don't know what to say. Right? They just won the Stanley Cup. Not to say this is like winning the Stanley Cup, obviously, but they're sort of speechless on their emotions. That's sort of how I feel right now. Like, I am so happy and ecstatic that I'm blessed enough to be able to afford a truck like this and own this truck. But at the same time, it's still like setting in, right? The feeling's sort of setting in. Unreal. So the blind spot's actually pretty nice. Like the little orange light that goes up in the top mirror. It's pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to keep rambling to ramble. I know I haven't made a video in a long time because I didn't really do anything with the RS after the last video I did. It stayed as is for, what, a year? I didn't do anything else. Nothing major happened. Just kept it as is. So I wanted to make another video on buying the car, first impressions, the first 13 miles that I put on the car, all highway. I'm getting 14 mpg average, which, I mean, sounds about right. I know it's average 18, but it's also has 80 miles on the clock. So from what I've read in time, the fuel economy will get better, the driving. I did put the steering in stiff. Feels way better, or sport, excuse me, feels way better than the normal or soft. Like, I don't like, again, I've always driven performance cars. I like a stiff steering wheel. It feels freaking incredible. The quality feels amazing. It's got Apple CarPlay. It also has that forward pass, which is pretty cool. I can remote start it via my app. I can remote start it on the controller as well, on the key fob. And if for whatever reason my wife, family member, whoever needs to get into the truck, I'm not there, I can unlock it from that app, which I think is pretty cool. One thing he did say is, like, if I leave to work every single day at 7 o'clock in the morning, I can actually have it turn on every single day at like 6:55 automatically without even using the key fob, which I think is pretty cool. So there's a lot of understanding to do there, figuring out to do there, but initially it is a little, it's not as bumpy as the RS, right? This is much softer. I'm barely moving, but I can feel the bumps. So never being in a performance truck, like, you can just feel the suspension working. It's not really shaking me at all. I don't know if you can see it on the video quality. I'm not really moving, but I can feel it underneath me, which I don't mind at all. I think it's pretty cool. It's that live valve, right? So what that's supposed to do, and I'm not an expert by any means, but it's supposed to, exactly how it sounds, right? Live valve. It's supposed to feed all this data to the ECU so it softens or stiffens the suspension accordingly. So it's just always reading the terrain around you. It looks like I hit some nasty traffic, unfortunately, but what is that? Yeah, I'm like 3 exits away from my exit. So far so good. I plan to do a little more videos. I I know there's not a ton of you guys watching right now. Maybe in the future there will be. I'm not doing it for money or anything like that. It's just, I think it's pretty cool. I need to do better at reading before I go to bed, but honestly, oh, there's that turn off. That's traction control off. Oh, active, start, stop, not a fan. Not a fan. But it does save fuel, so maybe I'll get used to it in this truck to save some fuel. But yeah, I like YouTube videos. I watch a ton of them. I figured why not do it myself. My wife got me a GoPro a couple years ago as a gift, and it's an awesome gift. I got to start making some more videos when I have time, things like this. So I appreciate you guys watching. Those that are watching, let me know if there's any videos in particular that you guys want to see. I will be off-roading this truck. Like I said, I'm in Dallas. There's a off-road park that's about an hour away that I probably will do, not this weekend, but the next weekend. And there's a pre-runner track, which sounds, and I've seen videos, sounds incredible. That's like 30-40 minutes away from me. So I'm definitely going to be doing that, and I think it's once a month. So I'll make some videos on that. But let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that. Really appreciate it. I'm crossing my fingers and my toes that it fits into the garage, or my wife is not going to be too happy. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Awesome truck. I'm really excited. Stay tuned.